We'd like to show you some of the 100 or so new species scientists believe they discovered. They were found using an underwater robot capable of diving more than 14,000 feet. More than just enriching scientists' understanding of ocean life, researchers say it demonstrates how the Chilean government's ocean protections are bolstering biodiversity and providing a model for other countries.
Do you think you have seen everything the ocean can throw onto the shore? Even scientists said that if this had not been recorded, they would not have believed it. Because in just a few seconds, you will see a gasping mermaid corpse and a creature with a dog-like face but human legs that shocked the entire internet. Watch this video to the end, because the last scene shows a sea monster captured more clearly than anything you have ever seen. No one expected this scene to be real in La Unión, El Salvador. After a heavy storm pushed trash onto the shore, locals found a human-shaped creature lying among plastic ropes, bottles, and seaweed. What made people step back was not the tail, but the blue-gray skin, shiny like scales, a body almost 6 feet long, and motionless arms rising and falling with the waves as if it was still breathing. At first, everyone thought it was a costumed body, but when they looked closely, there were no seams, no fabric, no silicone, only real skin and a long scratch down its back, like it had been dragged across rocks. Its head looked human, eyes large, ears small, but the neck and shoulders were covered with scales running all the way down to the stomach. Authorities blocked off the area, and social media split in two. Washed up prop or living proof of legends? And the biggest question, why did it appear right after a long rainstorm? Was it a warning? But that was not the strangest thing you can find on a beach. While Tyler and his friends were following a trail of ocean debris at Florence Beach, Oregon, the flashlight suddenly hit something long lying right at the waterline. From afar, it looked like a torn cloth, but as they got closer, they froze. It looked exactly like a giant fishtail. Wrinkled gray skin covered in sand, a fin almost 3 feet wide, and small curled finger-like ridges in the middle. The scary part, there was no upper body at all, as if it had been ripped off by something incredibly strong beneath the ocean. Tyler, who had seen whales, sharks, and sturgeons of all kinds, could only shake his head. "Nothing in Oregon looks like this," he said. What creature did this tail belong to? Was it cut off or did it rot away on its own? And if this is only one half, where is the other half? The waves kept washing over it, like they were trying to pull the secret back into the deep. Then, out of nowhere, a video appeared online and made everyone stop scrolling. A massive creature lay across the sand, said to be on Bondi Beach, Australia. So large you had to watch twice to believe it. Its body looked like a stretched-out sperm whale, but the head widened like a giant squid, with dozens of tentacle-like extensions spread across the sand like uprooted roots. Its blue-gray skin was slick and wet, covered in sand as if the waves had just thrown it there. Viewers immediately split into theories. Was it some kind of giant squid pushed ashore but way bigger than normal? Or worse, was it a movie prop? Even though the details looked way too real to be fake. No official report confirmed the location, but the video spread right when storms were hitting the New South Wales coastline, raising one question: did this thing really rise from a depth humans have never reached? Late at night at Playa Venao, Panama, another 15-second video shocked TikTok. Ali, the man filming, was just looking for seashells when his flashlight hit something that made him and his friends jump back. A pale, drenched, deformed creature lay on the sand. Its head was swollen and round, but the jaw was horrifying. Broken teeth, torn flesh, and a dog-like muzzle stretched as if frozen mid-growl. But the real shock was below. No fins, no tail. Instead, two human legs, pale, bent, and covered in wet sand. Toenails curled, skin swollen like it had been underwater for hours. Ali could only whisper, "What is this?" before stepping back. The internet exploded with theories. Hybrid creature? Decomposed marine animal that looked too human? Or something dragged from ocean depths no one has explored yet? No one knows. The only certainty, after this video, Playa Vanao is no longer a beach you want to be near at night. You might think this is a UFO photo or a horror movie prop, but no. Patricia from Texas posted a picture her friend took on Bolivar Beach. A strange mass covered in teeth and bumps, looking like an alien creature. Social media exploded with theories, but when local authorities stepped in, they said it clearly. It was just the gills and gill arches of a large fish that had been cut up and thrown back into the water. Those feather-like structures? They were all gills. This is the kind of discovery that makes your heart drop. In Multan, western Mexico, a woman bent down to pick up what she thought was a piece of rope. But when she looked closer, it opened its eye and revealed razor-sharp teeth. Every theory came out. Eel, sea snake, something unknown. To this day, not a single expert has identified what species it was. All they know is that it made the entire beach freeze in fear. This story started normally. A tourist walking along a Mozambique beach after a strong, low tide. But seconds later, his phone became evidence of one of the strangest finds of the year. Half buried in the mud lay a massive gray lump that looked like a rock. He brushed off the sand, and the camera shook slightly at that moment. It was not a rock. It was a crab claw so big it did not even fit inside the frame. To show the scale, he placed his hand on the tip of the claw. An adult hand was only 1/3 the size of it. The base of the claw was as thick as a human calf. The shell cracked like a normal crab, but far larger than any species ever recorded in Africa. The flesh inside was still intact, as if it had been ripped off the body of a gigantic creature only hours before. This claw was too large to belong to any crab known along the African coast. Not a coconut crab, not a mud crab, not anything local fishermen had ever seen. And if this was just a claw, how big was the creature it came from? Just one look and you understand why people call this thing a hellfish. Teeth like a dinosaur, a crooked head, and glowing red eyes. It looked like a demon from the sea. But the truth is real and still terrifying. It was a monkfish, a deep-sea predator that lives in pitch-black waters. They rarely wash up on shore, but when they do, they look like something straight out of a nightmare. If those images shocked you, subscribe and get ready for what comes next, because the creatures ahead make these look almost normal. No one expected this to happen in the North Sea. The crew was pulling up their morning haul when a sailor yelled, "Something is wrong." When the net hit the deck, everyone froze. It was not a fish or a seal. It was a creature with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, curled up in the wet netting. Long hair stuck to its pale skin, as if it had never seen sunlight. What terrified the crew most was its chest. It rose and fell slightly, like it was breathing or trying to breathe. One man leaned in, then instantly pulled back when its chest and throat twitched as if reacting. The question hung in the air. What is this? Is it alive? And from what part of the ocean did it come? No one on the ship had an answer. The entire sea suddenly felt much more dangerous. In 2016, a couple in England accidentally stumbled upon a huge corpse more than 11 feet long. From a distance, it looked like a rotting log, until they saw thousands of flies covering it. No one could explain what species it was. Some said whale, others called it a sea dinosaur. Locals later gave it a chilling name, the Beast of Port Talbot. Unbelievable but true. In 2018, a giant squid almost 40 feet long washed up on Wellington Beach, New Zealand. This species lives in extremely deep waters where sunlight barely exists. Seeing one on shore left scientists stunned. Everyone asked the same question: what pulled it out of the abyss and into broad daylight? This scene was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Peru jellyfish, also called aguamala, washed ashore in waves, covering miles of coastline with a pink-purple carpet. Touching them is a mistake. Their sting can cause redness, burning, nausea, or dizziness. This happens seasonally when strong currents push entire groups onto land. A picture of nature that is mesmerizing and dangerous. The story sounds strange, but the sight was even stranger. In February 2020, locals in Mexico found a dolphin-shaped creature washed ashore. Its body looked like a dolphin, but the tail resembled an eel or a sea snake. Its head had sharp teeth. And then the detail that chilled everyone. It had no eyes. No fins either. Experts said it might have come from the deep zone of the Pacific, a place with no light at all. But if that is true, what dragged it all the way up to shore? This one made people scream and laugh at the same time. A huge octopus-like monster washed onto the beach. But it turned out to be a prop made for Stranger Things Season 4. Everyone thought it was a real sea creature until Netflix stepped in. This creature shocked all of Texas social media. Something long like a snake, with a wide mouth and odd teeth. It was a shrimp eel. They usually live buried under mud, but sometimes wash ashore after storms. The scariest part? If swallowed, they dig straight out of the predator's stomach to escape. The thought alone is horrifying. If there were an award for the most mysterious sea creature in history, this would qualify. In 1896, 2 boys in Florida found a massive glob of flesh, 6 yards long, 8 feet wide, and weighing almost 6 tons. Its skin was so thick that knives could not cut it. 6 horses were needed just to move it. To this day, no one knows if it was a giant squid, a whale, or something never documented before. Nothing causes panic faster than a dark shape under the water. A group of friends swimming saw an orca approach the shore, way too close for comfort. In New Zealand, the next thing you might see are bronze whaler sharks that follow schools of fish near beaches in summer. Worse yet, this region also has great white sharks responsible for many attacks. What would you do if a dorsal fin suddenly appeared right in front of you? A normal beach day became a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Avery, a young girl in North Carolina, found a megalodon tooth millions of years old. About 80 miles away, another man found an even bigger one. The species has been extinct for more than 2.5 million years, yet pieces of it still wait under the sand like prehistoric treasure. This is when you realize the ocean is still full of mysteries. A creature with a bird-like beak and a fur-covered tail washed up on a Russian beach. Some experts said it might be a rare dolphin species never recorded before. But dolphins do not have fur, and they do not live in that region. Where did the currents pull it from? No one knows. If you saw this on the sand, you would think it was a movie prop from Jurassic Park. But no, it was a 2-meter creature with rough skin, green spots, and spikes along its back found at Foley Beach. Some said sea monster, some said chupacabra. A few experts suggested it was just a deformed Atlantic sturgeon, a species that can grow 20 feet long. This was a rare moment to witness. A giant manta almost 23 feet across got tangled in a net, heavy enough to flip a boat. The species can reach nearly 30 feet, and rescuers had to push with all their strength to get it back into the water. You usually see this creature only in books, yet here it was on a California beach. It lives nearly 3,000 feet underwater, where almost nothing survives. Its body was nearly intact, showing off its sharp teeth and bizarre deep-sea features. A 6-meter corpse washed onto a Russian beach, looking part fish, part crocodile, but matching no known species. Its body was covered in hair-like fibers. It was so unusual that Russian special forces seized it immediately for analysis. Some guessed it was a deformed beluga whale, but the hair remains unexplained. This was one of China's largest ocean rescues ever. A sperm whale 62 feet long was stranded, and dozens of firefighters spent more than 20 hours to guide it back into the sea. Meanwhile, in the UK, 3 other sperm whales washed up in Skegness, drawing huge crowds. On February 22, 2017, people in the Philippines panicked when they saw a 6-meter carcass covered in cotton-like hair. Many thought it was an end-of-the-world monster, but National Geographic explained that the hair was decomposed muscle fibers from a large marine animal, still disturbing to look at. In October 2017, a viral video showed a creature with a claw-like head, 4 tentacle-like limbs, and a long trailing mass behind it. It washed up in Julianadorp in the Netherlands. No extra photos or scientific IDs were ever made. Its identity remains a complete mystery. This scene made everyone laugh and shiver at the same time. A creature with lips that looked shockingly human. Its skin resembled a shark. Experts confirmed it was a coffin ray, a native stingray species, but the decomposition made it look bizarre. A PE teacher in Izmir found a 2-headed dolphin, an extremely rare case. It was under 3 feet long, with 2 heads sharing one body. One eye was almost shut. It was diagnosed as polycephaly, almost unheard of in nature. The megamouth shark was discovered in 1974, and since then, only 269 individuals have ever been recorded. In 2022, a 15-foot one washed up in the Philippines, stunning scientists. Seeing one in person is almost impossible. David was swimming with his child when he saw a large object on the ocean floor. It looked exactly like a missile. Police and divers recovered part of it, but could not identify the source. The main theory was a US military training rocket. And finally, this was the internet's #1 pick. The video filmed at Playa Venao, Panama gained more than 1.7 million likes in just a few days. When fishermen ran over with flashlights, they realized it was a massive creature, about 26 to 33 feet long, as wide as a fishing boat, with pale, slimy skin that rose and fell like it was breathing. The waves made it twitch slightly, enough to make several men back away. One shouted, "It is too big." Another whispered, "This is not a fish. This thing is not normal." The comments exploded. "Looks like the Loch Ness Monster. We have explored only 5% of the ocean. This could be from the rest. And why explore space when this is under our ocean?" No one dared ID the species. The clip was too real, too close, and too scary to watch alone at night. Which creature in this video was the scariest to you? Or have you seen something even stranger? Leave a comment, because your story might appear in the next video.